Bwahahahaha. My name is Amy too, and welcome back to Synth. Getting a little lazy uploading these, but you know, I'm gonna still make them. Knuckles jumped off the floating island into the water, which made Sonic scream. He felt her touch for his hair. What? And she grabbed him by the hair and tried to pull him away from the beach. As the island fell to the sea, Sonic tried to pull himself away from the sea of water. The sea of water, huh? Which was closing behind him. The greenish, blue, and scarlet-colored water was growing thicker and darker. That doesn't sound very good. And his head began to feel numb. Meanwhile, on the ocean, a helicopter was flying overhead. The pilot was shouting over the radio in English. Tails watched the green water approaching the beach from the island. So what is this, a stream of pollution coming to get them or something? So as it passed over the islands, passed over it, he felt Sonic's hair begin to rise as Sonic's eyes went wide. Tails watched him jump back and forth in the water, just to dodge behind him. He finally realized what was happening, and jumped back, trying to keep Sonic's eyes from becoming watery. I guess it is pollution or something. Some harsh chemicals like what was used in that food that one episode ago. Whatever. As he was swimming back to the shore, Tails noticed as well. Tails grabbed Sonic and held him up. As Tails does. Sonic's eyes went wide. As he was about to breathe out, he suddenly jumped into the air again. And the green water suddenly appeared. He saw it and tried to dodge it, only to get blocked by the greenish-brown liquid in his mouth. Ugh. As he was pushed into the water again, Sonic screamed out in pain. The eyes of the helicopter became green and blue. Oh, the helicopter's eyes now. Okay. And the pilot's voice suddenly turned white. How does that happen? Whatever. As did all of the land below him. As the water in front of the helicopter seemed to be melting him completely. And he stopped in the middle of the ocean. Tails held Sonic close, and he finally stopped breathing. Well, that's unfortunate. And shook on the ground. Tails saw this as well. Tails held Sonic close, and suddenly the green water stopped. The yellow-colored green liquids. If it's yellow-colored, it's not green anymore, is it? Started to melt Sonic. Well then, that's kind of gruesome. And the pilot's voice became white again. And then the pilot's voice stopped once again. Tails saw these things, but the green water went by, and his eyes started to turn yellow. That's not good, because the water's yellow. And soon all the water around him was disappearing, and was surrounded by blue-colored liquid. That's more normal, I think. As Tails started crying, the pilot's voice began to get faster. And his voice became yellow again. Oh, he's yellow. He's scared. His voice is anyway. Tails is yellow or orangish. Tails stopped crying and started breathing again. He got pushed back into the water once more. Tails saw this too, as Sonic's eyes were completely covered in light blue liquid. As the green water slowly went by and he stopped breathing again. Stop doing that. As Tails went down into the water, Sonic stopped moving. As all the green liquid around him melted and disappeared. Sonic felt hot to his belly. And looked at the pilot before him, looking him in the eyes as if they were cold iron fillings. You'd stare at cold iron fillings like that? And then the pilot once again became bright white. But now it was cold blue as well. Then his eyes widened, and Sonic's heart stopped beating in his chest. Well, he's not very healthy, you know? Then Tails saw something in the pilot's eye that appeared to be a hole. It wasn't large at all, but it looked big. At the same time, the pilot's eyes became even bigger, as they began to turn purple as well. These people are not very healthy. Also, this is like some eldritch stuff that's going on in this. As Sonic sat there in the water without any sound, waiting for his heart to start beating again, the pilot ... Knuckles jumped off floating island into the air to meet her, and she hit him directly. What? Bowser did Bowser did not get up after the collision. He stood at his feet and let himself be punched straight into the ground by his partner. He was hit straight into a pile of pieces. All while Koopa was fighting for his life, both fighting on the same level. You know what? Bowser looked at his teammate and shook his head. He looked at himself in the mirror and saw that his face was different. Yeah, because he was beaten up or something? He looked like a giant robot. Was he roboticized by Dr. Robotnik or something? I told you you weren't capable of anything I couldn't. Just do it. I was confused. I thought... Whatever. You did it for yourself. He raised his hand and sent another ball of energy at his partner, who is facing the ball's energy. He was stopped by a blast of energy that turned the giant robot into an impassable structure. Isn't it already an impassable structure? By essence of it being solid. Cough, cough, cough. He did not even raise his head as he was being sucked into an endless blue vacuum and blackness. Cough? He screamed, and he wasn't ready to face the darkness that engulfed him. A shadow moved behind Koopa and fired a ray of light into the arena. His face turned to look at it. It was Bowser. He gave him a thumbs up. Yeah. Hey! Bowser grabbed Koopa by the shoulders and threw him against the barrier in front of him. Koopa looked down and saw a huge pile of dust on the ground. Some of it was broken glass. He thought the whole thing was not that bad, but he felt his face was burning. You might want to make sure that really isn't bad. Unless you're just blushing, which is also a possibility, but not one that I'd like to imagine in this instance. He looked up and saw a white mist. He looked up at the mist and saw a light bulb that was illuminating Koopa's eyes. Koopa's eyes widened in shock and saw his own face was glowing. He wasn't prepared to see his face like this again. Hey! He looked around and saw the dust he had just blown. He looked at Koopa, but saw him still looking back at him. The light bulb was a few seconds away and had taken off in the air. Koopa looked at Koopa, who had his own face glowing brightly. He looked at Bowser, then looked at Koopa. A yellow light bulb began to glow. Whoa! He was thrown forward and was looking down. Koopa tried to look down, but it was broken. The ground moved on it. Yeah, he's high on something. Knuckles accidentally ate one of the Chaos Emeralds. and used it to smash some of the trees up as a means of protecting his home from destruction. Trivia. This is the first time in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater that a boss had been killed in order to give Snake a chance to kill the boss for him to collect the emeralds. What is this? Instead of dying to receive them, in which a boss has been killed in order to give Snake a chance to kill the boss for him to collect the emeralds. That's complicated. Instead of dying to receive them, this is the only battle in Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater in which the player starts off with less than 10 health. I've never played Metal Gear Solid, but I assume that that's low health. In which the player starts off with less than 10 health. In Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, in which the player takes one shot to kill all the big boss's enemies with a grenade. But the big boss himself gets one hit in all of them without dying. In which the player takes one shot to kill all the... What in the world was that? Moon walked to his car, an old Impala, the one he bought himself. They stepped inside and sat down to talk. So you're a hunter. I was. It took you longer to get into this than any I'd thought. I'm sure anyone would. It took me all week before I figured out how to use my sword. I was just starting. You don't know how to use a sword? I mean, maybe you don't know how to use it properly, but I imagine you just, slash, stab, It's kind of it's self-evident. Well, actually, it took me until about mid-morning before I remembered that it was an ore. That you were a hunter, and then it took me all the way until the very end I could draw my sword, and then it takes all day and all night to do anything more than draw, and then I've been thinking that that's all there is to it, because I don't know, you guys have been okay. I just don't think the whole world is as as the first year. You're probably right. Anyway, after you showed me your blade and I did all the killing and you went after his car and everything, you told me you wanted to spend your summer on the beach, not in my house. I asked for some food and was disappointed. At least you're trying to stay on track here, right? It's kind of hard to stay on track when nothing makes sense. Yeah. I tried to stay on track myself, but I just got caught in the process of learning to be a huntress. Okay, it's a woman. For once, and I never ended up doing it for the money. Oh no! You're not that into the summer camping thing? You don't have time for any of this? Why don't you just go back and buy some stuff and just go through your daily grind? You can still get some sleep. You can still go to campfire nights. It's all okay. What is this? I'm a woman who does this kind of thing. The only thing I did was ask for money. I'm too busy with my life to buy anything worth getting tired of, but it's just as your mother told me. And I'm not a woman, and it's not like my mother or my mother's any bigger than me or anybody. What even is this anymore? You did the right thing and you got a vacation. It's like you think you're not as important as you think you are. What does that mean? What does that even mean? Where did it take me? Okay. Yeah, but I got your mind there somehow, right? You don't even realize that you're getting lost in all this bullshit, right? You're gonna get lost in your own thoughts, not the ones you've trained you on, right? you're gonna forget where you're going, right? Right? Like I taught you, that's a good thing. That's just a bad thing. Oh, I've been training you. Yes. So when I came home, I've got to get you to wake up. You're gonna put an end to it. The only thing I do is put a stop in the way you think you are. I don't know if I know what a train is, but that's how I see it. Not what it is, right? And if that's the way you can see it, then I guess it's really alright, because that's what I'm all about. You're just a part of it, as we all are in life. Right, so your mother thinks I'm not big enough for her. That's fine with me. What? That's what I'm thinking. She thinks you're a useless little boy. She don't want to spend the money on you're not big enough for her. She's just a little girl who never gets to do any good. What is this anyway? She's just a little girl who's trying to do some good for herself by doing what she wants to do. Well, no, I'm not the little girl. I'm the one who wants to be the bigger girl. Wants to. And you're always trying to be the do it thing. But there's a part of me that believes that you should actually do it. That you should take charge. Not that you're not big enough for mom part. You're just trying to be the big girl, but the other part of me doesn't care. It knows that you are the little girl who's just trying to do her part for the world. It knows that it's what she wants to do. It knows that if you really wanted to, she could take your mom and go with her, take her place, but she don't want to, for a myriad of reasons. And she's just a little girl who wants to get her mother the money. What even was that anyway? I'm going to end this video here. If you liked it, please subscribe and like, whatever, comment, search for the other ones on my channel. I've got like many of these. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.